Today we're taking an expanded look at traffic patterns, adding live and dead side pattern entry into our practice routine. Brakes are released, throttle advanced smoothly, and engine instruments are monitored. Rudder pressure is used as required to counter engine torque and P-factor. In a nose-wheel aircraft, when the flight controls become effective, back pressure is gradually applied to raise the nose wheel slightly off the runway to establish takeoff attitude. As the aircraft lifts off, pitch attitude is held for climb airspeed. With wings level, rudder is used to maintain aircraft track. Engine torque tends to impart a rolling force, most evident as the landing gear leaves the surface. The aircraft should be at the pitch attitude required to accelerate to Vy. With a positive rate of climb, flaps are retracted if extended. Takeoff power is maintained until an altitude of at least 500 feet AGL is reached. Power is adjusted to the recommended climb setting. During the initial climb, the aircraft path remains aligned with the runway. If departing the traffic pattern, the climb is continued straight ahead, or the pattern is exited with a 45-degree turn to the left in a left pattern, or right in a right pattern. When remaining in the pattern, a turn to the crosswind leg is commenced within 300 feet of the pattern altitude. When approaching the runway from the live side, the downwind leg is joined midfield at a 45-degree angle, yielding to downwind traffic. The runway is overflown midfield at traffic pattern altitude, plus 500 feet. Approximately 2 miles clear of the pattern, the aircraft descends to pattern altitude, then turns back to join midfield at a 45-degree angle, yielding to downwind traffic. Flap deflection up to 15 degrees primarily produces lift with minimal drag. As lift increases, the aircraft has a tendency to balloon with initial flap deflection, which is offset with a nose-down pitching moment. Deflection above 15 degrees produces a significant nose-up pitching moment in high-wing aircraft, as the resulting downwash increases airflow over the horizontal tail. The pilot judges the altitude and distance from which a gradual, stabilised descent will result in landing at the desired spot. Distance depends on the altitude of the base leg, the effective wind, and the amount of flaps used. After turning onto the base leg, the descent is initiated with reduced power. The base leg is continued until a shallow to medium turn will align the aircraft with the runway centre line. Not exceeding a medium bank angle is recommended, as the higher the bank angle, the higher the airspeed at which the aircraft will stall. If a higher bank angle is required to prevent an overshoot, it's preferable to go around. Full flaps are not recommended until the final approach is established. Small adjustments in pitch and power may be necessary to maintain the desired approach airspeed and vertical speed. When desired airspeed has been stabilised with pitch attitude, the aircraft is retrimmed. In a stabilised approach, a constant glide path towards an aiming point has been established. The aiming point is a point on the ground at which, if the aircraft maintained a constant glide path and it was not flared for landing, it would strike the ground. If the aircraft is expected to overshoot the aiming point, more flaps are used, if not fully extended, or power is reduced, or if undershooting the aiming point, power is increased. The aircraft is retrimmed on final approach. With reduced power and a slower airspeed, airflow produces less lift and less downward force on the horizontal stabiliser, resulting in a significant nose-down tendency. When the aircraft is within 10 to 20 feet of the runway, the round-out or flare is started. The round-out is a slow and smooth transition from a normal approach attitude to a landing attitude. As the aircraft reaches a height above the runway at which a change into the proper landing attitude can be made, back elevator pressure is gradually applied to increase pitch attitude and angle of attack. As AOA increases, lift momentarily increases, decreasing the rate of descent. As power is normally reduced to idle during the round-out, airspeed also gradually decreases. Lift again decreases, requiring the nose to be raised further, increasing AOA. Airspeed is decreased to touchdown speed, and lift is controlled to settle the aircraft gently onto the runway. The round-out is executed so that proper landing attitude and the proper touchdown airspeed are achieved as the wheels contact the runway. After the main wheels contact with the ground, back elevator pressure is held to maintain a positive AOA for aerodynamic braking, and to hold the nose wheel off the runway. Back elevator pressure is gradually relaxed, and the nose wheel is allowed to gently settle onto the runway. Steering is improved as weight is placed on the nose wheel. Landing should not be considered complete until the aircraft decelerates to normal taxi speed. As speed decreases, the steerable nose provides more positive directional control. If enough runway is available, allow speed to dissipate normally. The brakes are applied firmly and smoothly as necessary. Maximum brake effectiveness is just short of the point where skidding occurs. When the aircraft has slowed enough to turn onto the taxiway and is stopped, flaps are retracted and the after landing checklist is performed. As always, feel free to like, comment and subscribe.